There's always a delay. Just to explain that, there's always a delay between pressing live and it going live. And so it's always a bit tricky. I'm always like, are we live? And it's funny because I'm pretty sure you guys can see me doing my weird like checks and stuff. I'm just going to move that over. There we go. Alright, so, hi! How are you? Yes, the office has changed again. I'm in the process of moving out the mattress and all the stuff I had set up for when I had the spicy cough. Excellent. So we're here. Now, Simone tells me that it's very annoying that I spend the first 7 minutes, just rambling and saying hi and welcoming people. So I'm gonna, the hair's changed again. Yeah, I got a haircut. I was supposed to get some colour in it before my brother's wedding and then COVID. So yeah. I don't know. I'm getting this close to shaving it, right? So if you have some strong feelings about whether I should just shave my head or not, just pop them in the comments. Should I go bright colours? Anyway, this is not a hair video. We might do one. Maybe I'll do a poll, right? I'll do a Misfit Hub poll. Good to see you, Travis. Nice to see your name pop up. Thank you for making the time. I know life's pretty hectic for you at the moment, so awesome to have you here. That's a vote of no, don't shave my head from Jane. Thank you, Jane, for your opinion. I just hate hair. Is that a weird thing? Yes, bright colours. All right, well, maybe I'll just do like a bleach and then some crazy like purples and blues. Maybe like that, like the rainbow behind me. That was my Mother's Day gift for my gorgeous daughter. A rainbow neon light she felt I needed in my office. So once I work out what's going to go behind me, again, I might move these things back around. I don't know, but it'll all make sense. It'll all do what it's meant to do. I'm not helping you, am I, Simone? Simone Nathan, I'm going to tag you because I've been talking about you now. Don't you hate it when technology doesn't work? Here we go. Simone Nathan, I apologise for already 2.5 minutes of bullshit. I mean, not bullshit. I said hi to you. That's not bullshit, people. Anyway, all right. Fucking hell. Can you, just for a second, right? I want you to appreciate the amount of garbled shit that comes out of my face. There's like 3,000 times that in my head. Just to give you a glimpse of inside my my mind. It's pretty nuts in there. And it's worse today, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm super excited. Because I'm super excited that I'm back and I'm live. I'm really here. Thank you to all who tuned into last Wednesday's replay of Why Knowing Isn't Doing, and I trust that that was super valuable for a lot of you. We've had quite a few newcomers into the group. So I wanted to make sure, I feel like that is a really powerful training, and I wanted it to sort of highlight it again and make it available for those that perhaps weren't in the Misfit Hub when I originally did it. I love the chaos. It could be a bit more simple. Yeah, I know, mate. I'm telling you, in my head. One day, and good to have you, Brett. Welcome. One day, I will probably be medicated and the madness will possibly have a little more order. Fun game. See if you can spot when I start medication. Hedge your bets and be like, I reckon she started. She's making a bit more fucking sense. Anyway, so today we are talking about, lol, that's why I love you. Oh, because it's just chaos in my mind. I love you too, Jane. I love all of you. I'm very blessed and grateful for this incredible community that we've built here with our music, our songs that we like, and I don't know if you know, if you weren't here at the very start, you may not know. There's actually a Misfit Hub Spotify playlist. So if you put in Misfit Hub on Spotify, you will get the playlist that was made from the songs that you guys put into that post. I've got a couple I need to add in there. But if you're interested in tuning into what other misfits like to listen to and what their zero fuck song is, it's on Spotify. Just search Misfit Hub. We have our own Spotify playlist. One of my cool things. We also have, obviously, there's merchandise. You can go and get yourself a Zero Fucks jumper or a t-shirt that says action is the antidote to anxiety, and it's got a little capsule in the middle. I'm not wearing one today. I usually am. So that's available too, if that's, floats your boat. How am I doing, Simone? 5.5 minutes. Today, just skip the first 5 minutes. Today we're talking about the secret ingredient. And here's the thing, right? I think I said this the other day. Oh, that was in the other group, right? So I was talking to my rock stars that are inside the program, and I was having a chat with them yesterday, and we were talking about frames and all sorts of stuff. But I've been in this space, this personal development space, this coaching space, this evolutionary space for over 7 years now. And once I started talking about, hey, Chris, I know, look for the control in the chaos. Oh, look, that's an option. I think you mean now, yeah? I now look for the control in the chaos. It depends on the day. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just let the chaos wash over me. Control the things you cannot change and let everything else go. So one thing that I have seen a lot of in those 7+ years is a lot of aspiration, right? There's a lot of aspiration. And I was the same when I sort of first entered this space. There's people ahead of you on the path, right? There's people that are, whether they are, the gurus, the Tony Robbinses, the sort of high level Brene Browns of the world, or maybe it's I guess more accessible people that you see on social media. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's family, maybe it's colleagues, maybe it's people that that have turned their mess into their message. People that you have seen go through an evolution, and there is an aspirational element, right? We have those thoughts of like, God, I wish I could be as whatever as them, right? As confident as them. I wish I could be as carefree as them. I wish I could be as fearless as them. I wish I could be as in control as them. I wish I could be as happy as them, right? And we see the attributes that we want in others, right? Now, I've talked about this multiple times before. What you see in others, what you aspire to that you see in others, must live within you, because that's how it resonates, right? So if they're ringing that bell, you must have an internal tuning fork that's vibrating at the same level, right? So if you see confidence in others and you think, God, that's awesome, it must be within you, or you wouldn't recognize it, right? So I've talked about this before. It's called sympathetic resonance. It's an energy thing. But ultimately what it means is that anything that you see in someone else that you admire, that you aspire to, that you like, that you recognize, is because somewhere in you at some level it already exists, right? If someone's ringing a bell, right? So think about something you don't resonate with, right? Might be an extreme political view. It might be an extreme, belief around, I'm going to make an assumption here, right? The Misfit Hub is a beautiful, inclusive community where, generally speaking, everyone in here, as far as I believe, is quite accepting, quite, adopting of my mantras of curiosity and compassion. So I'm curious as to how and why people got to where they are now, and I'm compassionate in that I don't know their whole story, and I assume that everyone's doing the best they can with what they have, right? Now, let's say that that's the philosophy of the Misfit Hub, right? Let's say. there are people outside of the Misfit Hub in the world that hold very strong views about things. Politics, race, gender, right? That sort of extra, like a strong viewpoint on things like that. I want you to think about one of those viewpoints, right? One of those viewpoints from one of those sort of perspectives of non-Misfit Hub people, let's say, right? I'm being really general because obviously you're all entitled to your opinions and some of you may have very strong views about all sorts of topics, and that's fine too. So I want you to think about something, I don't know, a misogynist belief, a racist belief, something that you don't resonate with, that's not for you, you don't agree with, you don't hold that within you. Now, when there's something like that out there and they're ringing that bell, but you don't have the resonant tuning fork, right? You don't believe that, you don't agree with that. They can ring that, you know, I don't know, racism bell or whatever it is, as hard as they can. But if it's not within you, you're not going to go, oh, yeah, all right, I see where you're at. You know, it's not going to match up, right? Because it's not within you. So notice how that feels, where you're like, not for me, right? As opposed to something that you do resonate with, something that is within you. I see them being outspoken. I see them speaking their mind. I see them being true to themselves. I see Lisa living a life of zero fucks and I want that, right? Now, whatever you see in that person, in me or anyone else, has to be within you, or else it'd feel like that other thing that you don't have, that you're like, oh, I'm not connected to that. I don't resonate with that. I don't want any of that, right? So what is it, for those that are on live, and hopefully there's a few, I would love to know what attribute or life skill or, you know, what are you seeing in other people that you think, fuck, I wish I had more of that. I wish I could be more like that. I've thrown out a few, you know, suggestions. Confidence is always kind of, you know, a thing that people think they want more of. But aside from that, what do you see in others? Maybe it's like a joy or a fun or a silliness, or, you know, there's a playfulness in others that I think, oh, I wish I could be a bit more, you know, playful and relaxed and not so serious all the time. What is it that you see in others that you think, I'd like more of that? How do I get that? Drop it in the comments. I'm really curious as to, you know, what is it that you see in someone else that you think, I'd like more of that? I'm going to have a sip of my giant blue water bottle, which most of you are actually very familiar with. Tell me in the comments. Because I can guess, right? And I wonder, I'm already playful and struggle with facilitation and structure. Yeah, right. So there's like the other way. Yeah, man, consistency is like my arch nemesis, right? I'm like, I'll go with the flow and chill. What do I feel like doing today? But then actually, like, you know, planning, sticking to a schedule, structure, less good, right? That's one of the things that I'm like, I need a bit more of that in my life, right? Because I definitely still am not perfect. Yeah, so it could go the other way. Could go the other way where you're like, you're already pretty chill and flowy, but actually could probably do with a bit more, yeah, all that crap. Exactly. The stuff you have to do, 100%, rather than like get to do. Yeah. And some of that is a mindset shift. Like I've been talking about this a lot with my mentors at the moment. Some of that is a mindset shift that I need to go through of like, oh, I get to do these things, and just changing the way that I'm looking at it and approaching it. And I guess some of it, you know, is just like, well, you know, buckle up. Just get it done, right? Sometimes you just be like, well, it needs doing, so I'm going to do it. Yeah, cool, awesome, really helpful. So I know that there are some of you in this group, some of you have come to me, some of you have connected into my network because this concept, this idea that you can live with 0 fucks, right? Or significantly less fucks, and not continue to be a people pleaser and not constantly be giving away your time and energy to everybody else, and moving away from polling everybody. One of my clients was talking about they used to take a poll, like a survey of like, well, what do you think I should do? And what do you think I should do? And what do you think I should do? And they would survey everybody before they would have a a decision or figure something out. Donna Lee says, always confidence in my message, ability to convince others that I know what I'm doing and that I'm really good at it. Right. Wouldn't it be interesting if so you feel the need to be, this is what you want. You want confidence in your message and the ability to convince others that I know what I'm doing. Oh, well, this is very interesting, Donna. If this is what you're looking for, very interesting, because what if you didn't have to convince anyone except yourself? I know it's a bit of a coaching throw, which you didn't necessarily ask for, but maybe that's why you decided to put a thing in. Lovely to see you on here live, by the way. Fantastic. I love when you guys drop in. That's what I need. Yeah, confidence in your message. So first, this is my unsolicited coaching advice. So you can tell me to fuck off, or you can leave it alone. If it's not for you, just put it down, right? Because you didn't ask me. But I'm going to give you a tip anyway, which is the first person that you need to convince that you know what you're doing and that you're really good at it is you. And when you believe that, you won't have to convince anyone because you're just going to radiate that. Cool. Anyway, which is also a sneak peek into what we're talking about today, right? So there's this idea that you can live with 0 fucks. There's this idea that you can have confidence in yourself, that you can stop people pleasing, that you can stop surveying others, that you can just be grounded and come from a place of certainty in yourself. And I know that is something that you aspire to. I know that's something that you see in others, that you see in me, and you're like, yes, I want to give 0 fucks. I want to just be able to make decisions. I just want to be able to make decisions based on what I want. I want to, I see that in others. I see that in you, Lisa, and I want that. And maybe you've wanted it for a while. Maybe you've wanted it for a long while. Maybe you've recognized that like, how do you make the switch to go from aspirational, like that'd be cool, I'd love to give 0 fucks. I'd love to be like, you know what? This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm not doing. I don't have time for that. To be able to say no when you mean no instead of yes, right? How do you go from, yes, that would be awesome, I want to live like that, but then you actually keep doing what you're doing, right? How do you shift from that to actually living that life? How do you go from wanting that to, how many, let me know in the comments, if you have wanted to live that, if you have wanted that for a long time, you wanted to be able to be like, you know what, I don't care what you all think, I'm going to do what I want to do, and have that with like genuine congruence, but you can't work out how to actually fucking do it, right? Because that's really what we're talking about today, is going from that aspiration of like, that'd be awesome, to activation, to actually doing that, to living a life on purpose, to living a life deliberately, to living a life consciously, rather than reacting to everything and everyone that's going on around you. Let me know if that's you, if you've been looking at this, whether it's me or in other forms, and you think, God, that'd be awesome. But I can't make the switch. I can't shift to be that person. I'm going to keep making everybody happy. I'm going to keep doing all the putting out the fires behaviors. I'm going to keep making sure that when, I'm not causing too much of an upset. Let me know if this is resonating for you. I'm going to have a few drinks. As you can hear, I'm still recovering from our old mate spicy cough. And Donna, if you're still on, I'd love to reach out to you afterwards and just check in and have a talk about, how we potentially I can support you in that shift. Brett says, what I want to do keeps changing like I change my freaking clothes. It's chaos. Right. How is that a problem? How is it a problem that what you want to do keeps changing? Is it chaos or is it flow? And how can you tell the difference? I had it a long time ago but seem to have lost it. Right. So now coming back into those patterns of trying to be what you think you're meant to be. And I'm having a guess, right? I'm mind reading. And the way that I do that is because I lived it, right? I've lived it. I've been here. This is what I do with my clients. These are the conversations I have every day is with people who are there. And they just, they're keeping the peace. They're not being a nuisance. They don't want to cause a ruckus. It's easier. I hear that a lot. It's easier just to do what they want me to do. But in the meantime, they're losing themselves, right? And really, that's the secret ingredient. And the reason that you haven't been able to make that shift from aspiration, this is how I want to live. I want to live, confidently, and I do what I want to do, and that path. That's how I live. And we want that. So going from that to actually living a life where, sure, we take other people into consideration because we're not assholes, right? This isn't about becoming a dickhead. This is about becoming someone who's in charge of their own life, right? The reason that you're unable to make the switch, the missing piece to go from wanting it to living it, from looking at it to being it, is while you ready? Fast forward to 22 minutes, people. While you are leaning on everyone else, right, to tell you who you are, what your values are, how you should be spending your time, where your energy should go, and you're surveying people and you're keeping everyone else happy while you're leaning on all of these other people and places and things and roles and jobs and bosses and colleagues and kids for your identity, right? For your identity, then you can't just pull those away, right? You can't just that's pulling the carpet out, the rug out from under you, right? You can't just go, all of a sudden, none of these people that I'm leaning on matter. None of these ways that I've identified myself matters. I'm going to stop, caring what my boss thinks. I'm going to stop caring what my family thinks. Just, a snap decision. And then all of a sudden, all the stuff that you're leaning on, all the stuff that you're navigating to be you is gone out from under you, right? That's too big a risk. So the question is, if you stop relying on other people and roles and jobs and uniforms and people and families and all that, if you stop using all of that externalness to define you, to create your identity, then where must it come from? If you want to give zero fucks and you don't want to be using all of these other external things to create your identity, right? I'm a mum, I'm a coach, I'm a this in my job, I'm a manager, I'm a, blah, 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 I'm a this, that. If you're choosing, if you want to let go of all of those definitions of your identity and give zero fucks about what all those other people and whatever think, then where must that information come from? Hey Dion, good to see you on a live. Where are you going to get that information about who you should be, what you should do with your time, where your energy should go? What do you get to do, not have to do, right? Where are you now if you're choosing to go, nope, I'm going to be a zero fucks person, right? Then where must that knowledge come from? Where must that information come from if you're going to choose to not just be what everybody else wants you to be? It's got to come from you, right? It's got to come from within. So this is this secret missing ingredient. This is why it's very difficult to make that shift from going, yeah, I want to live a life of zero fucks, but I don't know how to do that because currently I'm leaning on everyone else to tell me who I am. And if you pull those out, then, what do you got, right? Maybe we'll have a chat, Donna. I'll send you, I'll tap your message after I finish this. Perhaps I'd love to talk to you about this, right? So the secret missing ingredient is you. You have to know who you are to be able to stand strong in your own shoes to then let go of all of those crutches, of all of those other ways that you have practiced defining yourself. So before you cut them away, you've got to know, who am I? What do I want to do with my time? Where does my energy go? What's important to me? What do I value? Right? All those deep questions. How do I give to myself? How am I expressing my creativity? What are my spiritual high level beliefs? How did I come to these decisions and these belief systems that I currently have? Right? If you don't know who you are outside of a mum, a worker, a partner, a parent, a dad, a retail store worker, a practitioner of some sort, a cop, a doctor. If you don't know who you are outside of the roles you play, then you can't disconnect from those roles because they're defining you. They're telling you who you are, right? And the reason that you're uncomfortable in that is because it's not coming from you, right? If you're being who your partner wants you to be, and then you're being who your boss wants you to be, and you're being who your friends want you to be, right? Now, if I had a group of friends that wanted to go out drinking wine every Friday or Saturday night, they wouldn't be my friends for long, right? One, because if I drink wine, I get terrible migraines and I feel like a bucket of crap. And two, they wouldn't be respecting my preferences, which is I don't drink alcohol. I'm not a drinker, right? So there'd be a misalignment. Now, in my earlier years, right, 20 years ago, did I have friendship groups that had different values to me? And did I adapt and blend and become a chameleon and be who they wanted me to be to fit in? Fuck yeah, I did, right? Absolutely. Right? I don't know anyone that didn't, right? We do that as teenagers. We do that in our 20s. Maybe you're still doing it, right? And you just, well, you go along with it and okay, because you want it. These are my people, right? But there comes a time where you're like, right, well, I don't know. I don't know who I am if I'm not being the person like fun, yay, let's go party, right? I don't even do it convincingly because it's super not me. So the reason that you're unable to shift from wanting that life to living that life is because there's some work to do, right? There's some work to do in learning who you are without the influence of all of that, or at least without the unexamined influence of all of that, right? Because we're all a product of our, our people, our history, our parents, our experiences. But when it's unexamined, when we just take it on as like, oh, okay, well, this is who I am, and we don't question it, that's when we formulate an identity that's incongruent. And all we usually know about it is that it's uncomfortable. It just doesn't feel right. We're not happy. Because we're being all these other versions, right? So the secret ingredient to living a life of zero fucks is you gotta know you. That information has to come from you. And then once you have that, once you know you better than anyone, and you love you, then it's much, much easier to give zero fucks about what anyone else thinks. I'd love to know if this is resonating, and thank you for those who are still on live. If you're watching the replay, make sure to pop, excuse me, put hashtag replay, and then play along, right? Play along as if you're live, because I'd really like to know how this is resonating. They asked my occupation in the hospital was in pain. I said, I don't know, whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, I know, it's weird. You got to tick a box, right? Occupation, person. Yeah. Human being. Does it make sense to you guys? Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Dion. Thank you, everyone. Does it make more sense that to be able to let go of those other definitions of self, that you have to know yourself first? And until you do that, you're going to be challenged to genuinely live a life of zero fucks when you are relying on all those external sources to know who you are, to define your identity. You're just playing roles, right? Does that make sense? That you can't let go of that and truly give zero fucks until you know your truth, you know who you are. I said at the start of this live today that I've been in this space for over 7 years. And yes, 100%, Donna. Absolutely, yes. And you won't stop doing that until you can give it to yourself. Boom. I told you I was going to be dropping some truth bombs today. Right? You won't stop looking for validation externally, not you specifically, you collectively, all of you, right? Human beings will not stop looking for validation externally until you can give it to yourself internally. So for those that may not be aware, how I came to this is that I was in healthcare for 20 years, right? I was an ambulance paramedic on road, driving lights and sirens, racing to emergencies for 8.5 years, right? I was officially employed in that organisation for 11 years. However, 8.5 years on road, essentially. And I was damn good, right? I was a really good paramedic and I loved it. I loved that job. Lots of aspects of it. I love helping people, obviously, that's why I'm here. I love making people feel better. I love being able to make a positive difference in somebody's day. And that career ended because I didn't know who I was. It ended with a diagnosis of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And I firmly believe that what I really had was a spiritual awakening and a realization that outside of my role as a paramedic and outside of my role as a mother, I had no fucking idea who I was. I was just putting on hats, right? This is my ambulance uniform. I'm an Ambo Lisa today. And then I'm home and I'm in my trackies and I'm Mum Lisa today. But outside of kind of those two major roles and, you know, daughter Lisa and all that, I didn't know me at all. And the level of internal discomfort got so huge that I ended up with multiple mental health diagnoses and my career ended, right? That career ended. I've now been doing this job, being a coach, helping people find their true selves and loving the shit out of their true selves and leaving behind baggage, leaving behind the definition of themselves that have come from roles, that have come, like Donna says, externally, right? I've been doing this work now for over 7 years. And what that means is I'm nearly at that crossover point. And soon, in the next sort of 18 months to 2 years, I'm going to flip over into a space where I have been doing this for longer than I did that. Longer than I have been a paramedic. This is what I do. This is who I am. This has been my mission since I did it for myself. And now 7 years I've been doing it for others. And when I say doing it for others, it's your journey, right? I'm the guide. I've got the torch because I've walked the path, but I'm not doing it for you. I just had a client call this morning and she was talking about, she's in the 90-day program, which, you know, if it's for you, it's for you. And she said at the beginning, which I thought was really sweet, at the beginning, the first couple of modules in the program, she wanted me to give her the answers, right? She was like, this is really hard. I don't know the answer to this question. And she was really angry at me. She was like, why doesn't Lisa just tell me what to write and I'll write it? Because our traditional education brain goes, there's a workbook, I need to fill in the answer, right? And that's really not what it's about. And she's now, you know, at module 6, 5, 6. She's further along in the 90-day program. And she said, I get it now. I get it. You can't give me the answers because you don't know them. I was like, that's right. My job is to help you uncover the answers that you already have. And she has said to me multiple times, she said again this morning, right? I didn't know that was inside me. I didn't know I knew that, right? Oh, it's garden day apparently. So I would love to have a conversation with you, anyone that's on here either live, watching the replay. If you are watching this in the year 2024, I'm still going to be doing this because this is what I do, right? I firmly believe this is why I was put here on the planet. I firmly believe this is why I went through what I've went through, why I've had the experiences I've had, because now I can come to you and say, I get it, because I lived it, right? And in some cases, I'm still living it. Evolution is not a process that's linear. It doesn't go from here to here, that's it, job done, right? Evolution is an upward spiral. So I'm on the next path and I'm doing the next level, right? It's growth. So if you want to have a chat with me, if you know that you are worthy of something else, if you are ready to make yourselves a priority, if you're curious, if you're open, and you think maybe you're committed to take some resourceful action about going from aspiration to activation and going from dreaming about this magical life that you could possibly lead to actually leading that life, and you want to know how I support people through that, how I've been supporting people through that for the last few years, then I want you to put the word secret into the comments, or you can PM me the word secret if you prefer, and I will reach out to you and we will have a chat. Right? This is what I'm here for. This is what I do. This is why I've created what I have created. Because I see you. I hear you, I feel you, and I know the pathway to guide you on to get you where you want to go. And I would love to talk to you about it. It's my favorite thing in the world. You don't have to stay dreaming of what's possible. Wouldn't it be nice? I'd really like that. Let's have a chat about how to do it, right? Because I've got the map. I've got the system. I've got the community. You get my support. You don't have to do it alone. It doesn't have to be a mystery. If that interests you, like I said, just drop the word secret into the comments below this live, and I will reach out to you personally and we will have a chat about where you're at, what it is you dream of, and how we can get you there. It's not salesy, right? I'm not into that shit, by the way, if that's a concern for any of you, right? It's just a conversation. Because I get it. I've done it. I walked it, right? Got the t-shirt. I want to thank everybody who has jumped on live today, whether for 42 minutes or just for popping in. Thank you to everybody who is watching this on replay. I love you too, just so you know. I know we have people in all sorts of different, time zones, right? So I know some of you catch up with this at different time zones because this doesn't necessarily work for everybody live. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Donna. I feel like, what was that show? Romper Room? Where I can see Jimmy, and I can see Jane, and I can see Brett, and I can see Dion, and I can see Donna. That's how old I am. Romper Room. It's an early 80s children's show. Anyway, drop secret into the comments. Share your thoughts. Share your insights. Share your ahas. I would love to talk to you. Great time for me today. You're on Romper Room. Yay. That's right. I can see Brett. I love it. So wonderful. Drop secret into the comments. I'll reach out to you and have a chat. Otherwise, you can always PM me at any time. That's what I'm here for. Well, not any time. I mean, you can PM any time and I'll respond when I can. I love talking to you guys, right? Misfit Hub are my favorite people. This community is incredible, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Oh, you're like legit on Romper Room. That's hilarious, Brett. I'm gonna go watch that. That's wicked. I always wanted to be on Romper Room when I was like 5. I was like, damn, how do you get on that thing? I love it. That's gold. That's my homework. I'm gonna go have a look at that now. Awesome. All right, so yeah. Reach out. Love to chat with you. Awesome to have you on today. I'm going to write a note to Simone to skip 20 minutes forward and just watch from there. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.